when a child was accused of being a witch. And these days, it's not hard for madams to accuse their, what's it called now? Or not accuse, suspect their domestic helps and labeling them witches. So we're going to be talking about dealing with suspected cases of witchcraft. Now, why are we talking about this? 2 women alleged to be witches and causing the deaths of several people were publicly stoned and their bodies burned. It didn't happen in Nigeria. Calm down. It happened in the Democratic Republic of Congo's east. And this was reported by locals on Monday. It was also learned that many suspected witches were chased away from villages. Furthermore, over 30 women were killed for same offense last year. The latest victims were aged 60 and 65. They were rounded up late Sunday in the South Kivu village of Nyamuriti. Now, Andre Baidanya, the head of a civil society in the area, made the revolution. An official report in an adjoining region said that the police and the army could not intervene in time to save these 2 women. Now let's come to Nigeria. We have seen from some Nollywood movies how some old people have been portrayed to be witches. So it sort of makes us sometimes, when we are with old people, we tend to classify them as witches. In fact, there's a way a woman will be old and we'll just say, this one is a witch. She maybe has eaten up all her children and all of that. There's this dichotomy between sorcery and witchcraft that exists, sometimes more ambiguously, in the beliefs of many people throughout the world. We watch movies like Harry Potter. We watch movies like The Sorcerer and we watch movies like The 7 Beasts or The Wonderful Beast or The Mysterious Beast and all of that. And we enjoy these movies. They are Hollywood movies. They are still talking about sorcery, witchcraft, wizardry. They are talking about how people even go to schools to learn sorcery, as seen in Harry Potter. And we do not say much about it. But here in Africa, someone acts in a certain manner and there's a possibility that person is labeled a witch. More so in the Christian setting, where they are carrying out deliverance every now and then upon witches. So witches are typically seen as particularly active after darks, when law-abiding mortals are asleep. That's why we use the term, you dey fly for night, abi? According to traditional Navajo belief, when a witch travels at night, he wears the skin of a dead animal in order to effect a transformation into that animal. These skinwalkers hold nighttime meetings at which they wear nothing except a mask, sit among baskets of corpses, and have sometimes funny rituals. In some African cultures, witches are believed to assemble in the cannibal covens. That's why when we pray against them wherever they are gathered, in their covens. Often, sometimes at graveyards or around the fire, to feast on whatever, the blood that they suck, like vampires that extract them from victims. Anyway, whether vampire or not exists is a conversation for another day. If they take the soul from a victim's body and keep it in their possession, the victim will die. In your culture, in your ethnicity, in your village, what's the notion about witches? How are they handled? Do you do like the people from Congo that stoned them and burned them alive? Do you call a man of God to come and pray and deliver them? Do you call the Ezemwa or Ezenwine to come and carry out libations and incantations? Do you explore the option of banishment? Now, some of these individuals are human beings like you and me. And maybe because they act in a manner or tend to possess some supernatural powers that enables them to carry out some diabolical activities, they are first human beings. And then there's the law of the land, thou shalt not kill. But now the argument is this: if really these witches and wizards do exist, the laws protecting them, are they the same laws protecting us human beings? When we go to a law court, how does it sound bringing up a case that this person is a witch and this person ate my child, or this person is responsible for my child's death? How do we prove to a court of competent jurisdiction, beyond reasonable doubt, that this person's activity is actually witchcraft? What punishment will be right for such individuals? The question remains, how best should suspected cases of witchcraft be handled in our society? Some of us have had these conversations between our friends. I get one of my uncle, that man na witch. No, that's not how we say it. That man na winch. You know get what you want tell me. Did that man die? He confess, oh. He confess. The entire village gather. He say he was the one that was responsible for my father losing his job with oil company. He said that he is the reason why I've not made progress in life. First class graduate like me. I have brain, but I cannot have work. He said he's responsible for why my sister, after 30 years of marriage, was here to give birth. He confessed so many things. So he said, he get one bottle where he tie us. He said, every night he used to come to our house and used to press us in our sleep. That's what my uncle confessed. The punishment for these people that have not held a gun, they have not used fire, they have not held a machete, they have not come to physically exert pain so much so that you are able to gather sufficient evidence to persecute them. How do you prove that they are indeed witches and wizards? So much so that you think that the punishment you are giving to them is the right one for them. Be it banishment, be it whatever it is. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. Again, 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. The WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809 030 6416. And for the records, a witch or a wizard is a person thought to have magic powers, especially evil ones, popularly depicted for a man, for a woman as a woman, wearing a black cloak and pointed hat and flying on a broomstick. This is what we see in Hollywood movies. They have a funny way they laugh. They can fly with a broom. Here in Nigeria, we say the witches even exist. They live on trees. They live amongst us. And sometimes we have to go to a powerful church or see a powerful man of God that is able to point out to us that this person is clearly a witch. Let's hear from Kingsley. I don't know where Kingsley is calling from though. Oh, join the conversation on X. X @ Nigeria Info PH. And Facebook page is Nigeria Info 90.3 PH. Kingsley from Mahoda, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Okay. I believe something happened because he used to work spiritually. And since spiritual things is happening, something is possible. Because, those people that are wicked ones, they can do anything. They can die. They can even fly in the night. Witches and wizards can fly in the night to make sure say they suffer people.
Have you ever seen a witch fly?
even though I have never seen them, but I've heard.
Okay.
And people are confessing that they did. Spiritually, since Holy Spirit is working, evil spirit too is working. I believe that, because anybody that says that devil does not have power is a lie. Devil have power, because since God chased Satan from heaven down, he does not collect any power from him, and that is the power he's used to suppress people. So thank you.
Okay, so how best do we handle these witches? If we are all agreeing that they indeed exist, what's the best way to handle them? Take them to the police? Take them to church? Now, I hope you understand that not all of us are Christians. All right? Some of us belong to other religion, and it is not Christianity. And now, let me also add this, that sometimes, as in the Christian tradition, their malevolent power is believed to derive from a special relationship with an evil spirit, with whom they have a pact, or they exercise it through animal familiars, that's assistants or agents, such as dogs, cats, hyenas, owls. I mean, sometimes you walk out and you see a black cat and you say, oh, I'm not going to move further than this. And it's because that black cat is believed to be a witch. In the Nollywood movies a lot of us have seen, we saw women transform into cats. And let me tell you the truth. At least I've been on planet Earth for several decades. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people do not want to own a cat. I lived with that mindset. I'm not a pet fan. I'm not a fan of pets. But you see, the movies I saw growing up that depicted that these witches could transform into animals. Cats especially. I will never be caught around the same. I will not breathe the same air with a cat for a very long time. Until much later when I said, all right, so what's the worst that will happen? The cat will come and bite me, or the cat will now change to being a human being. I've also seen videos on Instagram where people intentionally set cameras in their children's rooms because they believe something funny happens in their child's room at night. And then there was one video I saw, it was the teddy bear was the witch. So the teddy bear would stand up from the position it was, go, over the daughter that was sleeping in the room. And I said, okay, fine. So if this is real, I will just be there setting a camera and watching what is going to happen. Oh, that's definitely not me. In other cases, the witch's powers is thought to be based on his or her own body. And no external source is deemed necessary as well. Some people come out and identify themselves as witch doctors. Some people come out and identify themselves as the principalities and powers that we are praying against. Wrestle not against flesh and blood and all of that. But in reality, we do not want to go against the law because we are fighting one demon or the other. I hear that in some churches, they use koboko to flog these people. And for some reason, it could pass as human rights abuse. Because what proof do you indeed have beyond a physical confession that this person indeed said they were witches or wizards? Good luck from Andoni. Welcome to the sunny side. Let's talk. Good luck. What's happening to your phone line? Okay, good luck. Yeah, I can hear you, but there's a funny noise coming from your end. I wish we could do something about that noise. Hello, good luck. Hello. Oh dear. Good luck. Call back. I think when you call back, the lines will be clearer. Nigerian Info, good afternoon to you and welcome.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Dominic, sorry. Welcome, Dominic.
Yeah, about this, I have a short story to tell.
Okay.
Maid that you confessed that lady went out to the bank that day and got shot by robbers. And to shock you even the more, while she was confessing, I was gaining strength. I started doing stuff I couldn't do. To the point I drove myself to the place that year. in anger when on the regular. So my point is, which is do exist, though I never thought of any form of punishment for her, just let her go. When she's a child, I don't think it's her fault. Yeah. Hardship and all that. I think somebody must have connected her like Bluetooth without witchcraft, without feelings. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here with you.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I'm with you. So, for your case, you let your domestic help go because of hardship.
Yes. I didn't think of punishing her in any way. Yes. And how she got busted was another of my colleagues got busted somewhere else. I'm not going to confess and mention her name. I grew up in Old Port Harcourt Township. However, precisely, now, somebody confessed from what they call Abuja Estate in town. One of them called. Now, came to my place with the same crowd. It was so, oh my God, I don't like remembering this. But now, brought her to my place, like, my colleague. And she started confessing. Now started confessing.
So, what made her confess in the first place? Did you pray? Was it prayers or?
No, because her colleague got busted.
Oh, really?
Pointed out.
Oh, I see. Wow. Alozie from Omoma, welcome to the sunny side.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Alozie. How are you doing?
Okay.
All right, let's talk.
The issue is, even the Bible says, like their fruits, we shall know them. As a place, Bible said that even the Spirit of God who lives in you will bear you witness of the people and the designing spirit they operate from. Now, witches, calling witchcraft, they live even in our neighborhood. They even live as our neighbors. The punishment for which in my own culture here, we banish them 7 years. When they are coming back, they are going to pay a fine of this. But for me, the 7 years of the banishment is not enough. Because if you put into consideration the damages that these people cause to people, most of them have made some families to depart today. Some people have remembered them because of this, their diabolic list. They used to cast spells and inflict some pain on people. So it's something that has been existed. And the thing is there, even till tomorrow, it's still the witchcraft thing is still in our system to tomorrow. So we need to start to punish them like people who are murdering people physically. Because a man who go to school, after the whole thing, someone will cast something or cast one spell or the other, will start to looking for one man of God that will deliver him. Because of greed from a man who has given himself for devil to use. See from my own point of view, there should be a law that will go. Hello?
Hello, Ziam, I can hear you.
So there should be a law that should go far from banishing these people from out of the family or their communities. We should start to treat them as criminals and those who are murdering people.
Okay, but like you said, it's spiritual. All right. There are things that the human realm or the physical realm is yet to fully understand. Some of us have had experiences that we can only term as supernatural because explaining it in the natural sense makes you look stupid or dumb. Right? I mean, how do I explain to a police officer or a lawyer that one very small girl lifted you and hit you on the floor with supernatural powers? Looking at it from the natural sense, I mean, this girl is small. Look at your size. Look at your weight. I said she did. She lifted me and she hit me on the floor, and that is how I broke my spinal. I don't know if you get what I mean. The girl in size is small. And you are claiming that she was able to do it because she's a witch. You're claiming she could do it because she has one spirit walking through her, walking inside of her. So while we believe that these beings exist, but the best way to handle them, because I cannot imagine that for every time we discover someone is a witch, we stone the person to death. Or for every time we discover someone is a witch, we banish the person or burn the person to ashes. At some point, it will become a case of human rights abuse. It will call for you proving beyond reasonable doubt that this person that you had indeed killed was a witch, was a wizard, who had done everything. Even with certain confessions these days, there are question marks. Some people confess today, and by the time they want to take their statement, they're retracting everything they had said, and they say, oh, they were just joking, or they were not serious. They just wanted to say it because they did not want them to beat them. Good luck from Anthony. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, these people are really deadly. And they are very wicked. I can tell you the most wicked categories of persons you can ever have on it. We'll be hearing these sayings that the white men, which the good one, like they use them for invention, for researches, and the rest. But that of us is just to destroy people's destiny. Like these full activities are very wicked. Like, from what people have been saying, maybe you go to bed at night, and before you wake up in the morning, you'll find out that some part of your skin has been tampered with. Like, you see wounds on your skin that you really don't know how it comes about it, and it could be very, very pepperish. From what people used to say is that when they do that to your skin, they deposit some bad and dangerous sicknesses into your system. That I think must have heard of some cases where people are sick, they go to the hospital and the doctor couldn't find anything as the cause of the sickness. These are the activities. Like somewhere in this Andoni, if someone is being accused of such activity, there's this native doctor that do take such people too, and with their native ways of doing their findings, like I know of one that they place a hot oil on the fire, and if you say you are not guilty, after you might have made your saying, and if you go deep down into the boiling hot oil and you pick a stone from the pot, and if you're guilty, your hand will be burned. But if you're not guilty, from people to the set, before you get to the pot, you see the pot itself becoming very cold, the fire going down, the oil start boiling, and they said the oil will just be as cool as cool water, like water that is taken from the fridge, and you just pick the stone and it will not be hot. You need to walk and show the people, and it's that one that is guilty before the person gets there, the oil will just circle on the person and burning and him or her, and if he insisted on taking the oil, you know what oil can do to someone. At least I've witnessed a man with such injury. Wow. They say it is our heart of Russia. So this was very wicked.
Okay, as much as they are wicked, don't they have rights to prove themselves? Ezekiel from Ubimini, you're welcome. Let's talk.
Good afternoon, Dennis.
Good afternoon, Ezekiel. How you doing?
I'm cool.
All right, let's talk.
I think the way to curb witches is to kill them. Whenever they come in regards of whatever thing they used to penetrate into your yard, your premises, or your room. Because these people, they appear in different kinds of form, which they feel to suck your blood or to terrorize you at night. Therefore,
so how do you know that a witch has sucked your blood?
Yes, that is the one we popularly call Amusu now.
Okay. Now, you said the best thing to do is to kill them.
No, either you break their leg, you don't want to kill them outrightly, you wound them, you break their leg or their hand, and then cover them up. When the day breaks, the person will not wake up until he or she will be noticed. That is what will attract the attention of people. Then, according to you, if you like to kill that person, instantly you kill that person. Then if you want to allow that person go with the wound through the form the person enters your premises, then you can take that person to the police station. Now, the question will be this: how do you know that this person is a witch? Then you can use the wound and whatever you encounter during the night with him or her to prove that this person is a witch or a wizard. As a herbalist, I know how many times I had encountered with them, and then I know what I did to them. Up till now, they are no more crossing my compound.
Okay, Ezekiel, now let me ask you this final question, yeah. Some people say that it is not the human being, but the spirit that possessed the human being. So whatever manifestations are manifesting. So are you going to kill a human being for the manifestations of a spirit?
My sister, this is an intentional act. The one we call diabolical people, who are not native doctor or herbalists like us. These diabolical people are the people that are using the means of whatever thing they feel like to cause danger or to hunt people and then hinder some persons of their progresses and whatever. Therefore, they are not meant to be alive, or you wound that person so that the person. See, let me tell you, these people they are very tricky, so they are technical. It is not an influence. They decided to be in that form, to be hunting the ones they don't like to progress. So they are not your friends.
Okay.
I don't know if you are getting me.
I get you. Get you.
So if you deal with such people, I think even the government or God itself will not be annoyed with you.
Oh,
because
really?
They are your first enemy.
Okay. Your first enemies. The truth is that we don't know our enemies or those that are attacking us. Your question on how do I know that someone is a witch is simple for me. When you show acts of wickedness and delight in seeing people suffer, when you know what is good and you don't do it, is just to make me suffer, then I'm term you a witch. As to how to handle them is to pray. The Nigerian police do not believe in witchcraft, so the so-called witches can be arrested and tried in a court of competent jurisdiction. Omodidi, I also had the same belief about cats. Till now, I hate cats too. But as a child of God, I take everything to God in prayers, because the Bible says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness. I'll advise people to pray for themselves, not to be going to any prophetess or prophet. These people go milk you. Esther sent that in. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. If you're just joining us, we're dealing with suspected cases of witchcraft. How best should suspected cases of witchcraft be handled in our society? I talked about what happened in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where some witches were stoned and burnt to death. Some were even banished. We're live on Facebook. Facebook page is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH and on X at Nigeria Info PH. Ukwabe Mike says, I have finally seen your face today. I'm always irritated hearing you talk. I can't place it, but I kind of hate the way you talk. No bad feelings though. Really? Oh well. Am I supposed to apologize for you hating the way I talk? Irritated for hearing me talk. Anyway, good news from Port Harcourt. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead, good news.
Good afternoon, my sister woman.
Good afternoon, my brother man.
Bible says, suffer not the witch to live. Don't be suffering while the witch will live. Now, how do you deal with them? As if you're a Christian, who knows you're a Christian, you're not a church goer. A witch cannot dare you. A witch cannot cross your path. A witch cannot even fly on top of the sink. They will come meters away from your estate. Anyone that dares will get the consequences on its own, unknown to you as a child of God. I know one or two of my brothers that woke up from sleep and their back were like when somebody used a long fingernail to scratch them. And they were sleeping, meanwhile blood were draining from their body. By the time they woke up, look at blood. The back. I'm telling you, what you doing since no they sleep? And all this while you woke up. And the thing continued in various times until the person started to do what I don't know what the advice thing. In the other way again too, I've seen, not just said, where they kill witch. How do they kill them? They manifest in different ways. Like one manifested with like a rat. And the story was told that if you kill a rat who is a witch, that's a witch, one of them is a witch, and throw the rat away, not to him. What they do is that the person ought to die where he is. But one of the members will wait, once you throw the rat away, to bite the rat, and then they bite their name. Killed the rat. He brought the rat to death, brought it to fire. People were laughing. Okay, he just the man refused to allow the rat to stay away from his face until he brought it to fire. That element, that after two. Do you know that the person that was neighbor, that person never stood up to today. A member from that coven repented by force and gave story about the rat that died, and that was why so person died. From the rat compound. It's a very large story. I won't mention the area or the name, but I'm telling you what I know. So there are different ways of handling them. If you're a Christian, they can't get you. If you're a spiritualist, they can't get that is from the spiritual aspect. But some persons who openly see what is bad and they do it to you. They know that promotion is coming your way. And they lock a paper in the office and throw it away. Those persons are more than witch.
Okay.
Are you understanding me?
Yeah, I understand you. I also remember seeing in Nollywood movies how rats will enter someone's briefcase and throw out the person's dollars. I mean,
what are these things? I will tell one story.
No, don't bother telling me another story. I think I've had enough stories from you. I have Promise Egbeda. Thank you for sharing your story, by the way, but Promise has been waiting. Hi, Promise. Welcome to the sunny side. Let's talk.
Thank you, Judy. See, just exactly what you're talking about witchcraft. Those of them who believe fetishism, people who believe witchcraft. There is something like witchcraft in the... Not like witchcraft. You know how a rabbit, cat could drop onto a human being and begin to suck body blood. That is does not put anywhere. Except those of them who believe fetishism and don't know what they are doing to big things. So that's a mistake. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Promise. Nigerian for good afternoon to you and welcome. Hi, good afternoon. Turn off your radio set, please. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Emmanuel from Bonnie.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, yes, you are talking about witchcraft.
Yes, please.
You see, apart from witchcraft, there are so many ways that Satan manifests. It comes in different forms. So for us to deal with them, it's very important because we are in a Christian religion. So I want us to really, because the Bible says, if the way of a man pleases the Lord, he make his enemies to be at peace with him. My way first. See, we can see some churches, they say they want to go and flog Satan, they want to flog witchcraft, but your way, it does not please God. You cannot flog the Satan, you cannot succeed. So the best way to deal with witchcraft, your own personal life first. Make your way right to God. God will fight for you. He said, vengeance is mine, I will recompense. So that's my contribution.
Okay, I think a lot of us are taking this conversation on the personal note, but I am looking at it on a society spectrum. Now, this is what I mean. When these things happen, people video, people post it on social media. This small boy now witch. This small girl now witch. People gather. They did not come to attack you. They came and they attacked someone in the neighborhood or something, or someone was able to spot that they were witches. The other day, it was on social media, I saw a video of a lady, they said it's from Benin, that she flied in the night, and what happened, she could not fly back, and she hung on an electric pole or something. And people gathered. Now, it's when they gather, it's when it's become public knowledge that this person is a suspected witch. How you handle it individually does matter. But you see, a lot of people have been caught in that web of, beat 'em, stone 'em, kill 'em, suffer not a witch to live, and all of that. What proof do you indeed have that this person is a witch? And not just a witch, but a bad witch. You people watch Harry Potter. You let your children watch Harry Potter. Some of them even take up the characters of some of the people in Harry Potter when they want to do Halloween costumes and all of that. And some of these witchcraft and sorcery movies. And you're not seeing anything wrong because, well, they are using their sorcery to fight evil. But then even in the sorcery movies, you still see the one that uses his own witchcraft to do bad. All right? Now, this is Nigeria. But with our reality here, saying that we do not all belong to the same religion, is it possible that we actually allow the courts to decide what best will serve as punishment for a suspected witch, as opposed to breaking the leg, breaking the hand, burning with fire, cutting with machete, gathering around and making videos, banishing the person? Cats are beautiful animals, especially black ones, peaceful animals. Witches, on the other hand, can take the form of anything. They are not associated with one animal or object. Bible says, suffer not a witch to live, shall. So a witch, the spirit, should not live, not the human being, Zig City. But then sometimes the witch is in the human being. So what then happens? Nigerian folk, good afternoon to you and welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Lady V, thank you. Good afternoon, my person. From here, I love hearing your voice. What's going on here? I've never met you, but I follow you on socials and you're a funny person. God bless you, Double D. Bless you too. For me, Shao, I don't believe in those things, even if I know it exists. Make we fight the hunger where they now before we talk about which matter. Churchill from Omagwa. Okay, so I thought there was going to be a recorded program at 2:45, but confirmation just came in now that it's not going to happen. So we have the entire hour to ourselves. And I think in the next, say, 10 minutes, we should be rounding off this conversation. So let me do a recap of all that has been said so far, what I have said, and what some callers and messengers have said. We're talking dealing with suspected cases of witchcraft. I also did mention that 2 people, women, alleged to be witches and causing the deaths of several people were publicly stoned and their bodies burnt. It happened not in Nigeria, but in the Democratic Republic of Congo's east. It was also learned that many suspected witches were chased away from the villages. Remind me of this storybook. Was it Rally? No, is it Ralia? Hold on. I wish I could find it on Google. Ralia. Ralia the Sugar Girl. Okay. Some of us read that book as children. But it talked about a set on a village called Amampa. And the cutest thing is that Ralia has a dog given to her by her father called Wara. Long story short, people believe that Ralia had gotten into a den of a witch. Okay? And there was a particular song, they talked about the old lady as sucking the children's blood. They talked about the old lady as eating all her children. And they even accused the old lady of collecting or taking Ralia. And they were going to do with her as they usually do with other witches. There was a twist to that story. Am I the only one that read Ralia the Sugar Girl? Did anybody read that book on WhatsApp? Okay. I think sometime later, it was discovered that the witch was not really a witch, right? Was that how the story ended? I'm not getting everything completely, but anyway, let me read this message. I pray it comes. Witches are wicked spiritual beings who have caused havoc against humanity. Fidelis Elemuwa from Chokoche. Okay, fine, agreed. But the question remains. Suspected. Except, of course, for the ones that confess. There are some that we just suspect. Okay? There are some that, in short, some days ago, some months ago, I think it was sometime last year, a particular husband and wife were arrested. And this was because they were molesting and treating, I forgot if it was the child or the domestic help. And it was because their pastor had called the child a witch. And that whatever they were doing to the child was instructed by their man of God. The conversation that day was the believability in these men of God. Genuineness. What shows how authentic they are. So sometimes we may not have had any impact of these people's activities, save for what someone had said about them. A seer or a pastor or a spiritual person, and they say, this person is a witch. I did read Ralia the Sugar Girl. Oh, you did? Yeah, how did that story end again? Please remind me. It's been a long time ago. I used to have the storybook, by the way, but you see, for some of us, Nollywood. I remember seeing the movie Witches. Till date, the theme song still plays him. Is it that one that has a kukuleku, kuleku? Is it that one? But you got the portrayal. Like I said earlier, cats. In that particular movie, it was cats. And guess what? A lot of us as children would dare not watch some of these movies at night because we do not want the witches to come and attack us. But beyond what they do, which is do bad, bottom line is they do bad. Whether they are pressing your neck in the night, whether they are eating you up, whether they are chewing you up, whether they are doing whatever it is they are doing, whether they are eating all your money and making things go wrong for you, what should be done to them? You see, when a person comes with a gun to shoot you, luckily you may not die. But there is some sort of evidence that this person had come with a gun. Alright? If you get to the hospital, they remove the bullets. They find fingerprints on this person's gun relating that this person was the one that was actually trying to shoot you. When someone comes to attack you in public, you clearly know that this is the person attacking you. Other people see that this is the person attacking you. So it's easy to prove. But when someone is doing things against you with your pictures, nailing it to a wall, or putting you in a bottle, or tying you like a doll baby, anytime they tie the rope, you choke. How do we prove it? How do we handle it? We have laws of the land, all right? But will these laws suffice in cases of witchcraft? All right, I read Sugar Girl. The story follows Ralia, a girl whose mother is blind and her father's back is broken. She goes missing in the forest while arranging the firewood and is taken in by an old witch who offers her accommodation in return for Ralia's singing voice. A few days later, Ralia runs away from the witch's house. She's taken in by a hunter and his family, and Ralia befriends the hunter's daughter. One day, while playing together, she's knocked down by a prince who takes her home to nurse her. After recovering, Radia is taking back home to her village where she reunites with her parents. Yeah. I'm trying to remember this song. There was a song they were singing about the old woman. You have taken our blood, you have taken our children and all that. Okay, so this is it. We go on the final commercial break. We come back. I read your final messages. Take one final call, and that will be all for this conversation. It's pretty cold in here. Let's just go get some heat.
Democracy is the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Nigeria Info opens the mic.
For more talk, news and sports, stay tuned to Nigeria Info.
We'll be right back after this.
What time is it? Welcome to May Brand Silverberg. Our mission is to be the #1 distributor of our brands within Nigeria and West Africa at large. We are the licensed store in Nigeria to carry Fossil, Michael Kors, Imperial Armani Exchange, Kagen, Diesel, and more. We deal in luxurious items such as watches, wallet, bags, and accessories. Visit us today.
This is Nigeria's #1 talk radio station. Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info. We are back.
Okay, so that final call and this conversation comes to an end. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Nigerian Info, good afternoon to you and welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. What's your name?
You could tell me something.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Okay, we're talking about witchcraft, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, if you ask me, I will say I am seeing this witchcraft of a thing in two forms. The spiritual aspect and the physical aspect, which will exhibit every day. Now, when you talk about the spiritual aspect, talking about those who fly in the night, as we've been hearing, but I have not seen anyone since I was born. But we also know that the Bible said disobedience is like the sin of witchcraft. So if you're a disobedient person, they also know that anyone who is disobedient should know that the person that he or she is a witch as well. So this is one thing I just want us to really understand in this show today. Thank you.
All right, thank you. There's the spiritual witch and there's the ones that people do and say, yeah, behaving like a witch or Jerry. How did they know that they are witches? Why beat them to death? The people that are beating them, how are they better than the so-called witches? Why not lead them to Christ Jesus? That man that Jesus cast the evil spirit in his body to swine, why didn't his disciples beat him to death? May God help us. Chief Churchill send that in. Whew. For so long, we have agreed that the supernatural controls the natural. And for everything that happens in the natural form, that has already happened in the supernatural realm. When it concerns witches and sorceries and juju and dark powers and dark magic, it's an entire world altogether that a conversation of over 50 minutes may not be able to fully dissect. However, the essence of this conversation is for us to be guided so that in a bid to want to prove something, we don't end up getting ourselves in trouble. You see, cases of false accusations are rampant every now and then. And some people did not realize that they were in the wrong until damage had happened. Sometimes it will require some level of spiritual sensitivity. Sometimes it will require some level of discernment. However, I do not think that the best form of action for any person identified or suspected to be a witch will be outright killing. Let the Lord take its course. Let the Lord decide what is indeed the right punishment. And if for some reason you feel like there's a solution by virtue of the denomination you worship with, or what you serve, or who you believe, or who you serve, then you can do that on a personal level. Never take the laws into your hands. My name is Denise Dennis Walu, and this is where the sunny side ends today. Follow us on X at Nigeria Info PH, Facebook page Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Follow me on Instagram and X at _Denise_Dennis, and follow me on Facebook. My page is Denise Dennis. My Facebook account is Denise Dennis Wall. Up next is Rivers Today, and thereafter Hard Facts with Kaladakoro Batabo. Do enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, as I will. I'll be back here tomorrow on the sunny side of life. Stay tuned.
Democracy is the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Nigeria.